Okay, the glue's all dried and we're ready to start the final phase of how to make a segmented bowl. To be turning the bowl today, the hole that I've got drilled in here, the 1-inch hole, is because the way I mount it on my lathe is I've got a 1-inch spindle adapter attached to the lathe. I slip the bowl over the adapter, put a big nut on it. Some people say I'm a big nut. And then I tighten it down, and that holds it on the lathe very securely. Then the plug, when I get finished with it, I put the plug in the bottom, sand that off, and you can hardly see the glue lines. I use a round nose scraper. I've found that that works better on these. I've got it ground to about a 60-degree angle, and I keep it sharp. About every 2 or 3 minutes, depending on what I'm turning, I'll sharpen it, just a light sharpen on my grinding wheel, and I've got a cup of water to keep it cool because you don't want to lose your temper. Never a good thing to lose your temper. So we'll get everything mounted up and start turning. Alright, we got everything mounted up. I'm pleased at how evenly the rings glued together. There wasn't much slippage on them. Of course, when you're good, you're good. Alright, I'm going to turn some and then I'll come back and show you the progress. I'm not really good. I'm just having fun and playing. Okay, that represents about 10 minutes of lathe work, so it's coming along pretty good. It's starting to take shape, and you can see the contrast between the chestnut and the Purple Heart. So we'll turn some more and come back. Alright, about 20 minutes more of turning, and I've got the basic shape that I want. I'm going to start on the inside now, but you see there's no variation in how it's perfectly round now. There's some of those nail holes. I think that just adds character. The bowl won't hold water, but you don't want it to hold water anyway. It'll be for fruits or for flowers or just an object d'art. But I'm going to start on the inside and we'll see how that goes. Okay, this is what the inside looks like before I start turning it. You can see it's got a lot of work to do in there, but you just have to be careful with not to go through the side of the bowl, because if you get it too thin you can go through the side. So we'll turn a little on it and then we'll come back and see how the progress is. Okay, about 20 minutes later, and the first 3 rings are pretty smooth. 3 more rings to go, and then we'll see how it goes from there. You have to go to just take your time, because if you go too fast you'll cut through the side of the bowl and then you'll hear thunder, and we don't want that to happen. So we'll turn some more and come back and show you the progress. Okay, we're getting real close. I've got a concern about this very bottom ring here. It's getting real thin. I like to try to keep the sides of the bowl no less than about a ½ inch. And I'm using a homemade caliper. You can buy these in the store, but it's just one that I saw, or patterned after one that I saw in the store. You just put it on there, and when you close it down, that gives you the thickness right here. So you can see I've got it set on that bottom ring, and it's all about a ½ inch now. It needs a little more trimming up, so you have to be very careful with it. But as you come on out, you can see that the bowl is wider at places, and I'll shape that up. So we'll do some more and come back. Finally, we're done with the actual sides of the bowl, inside of the bowl. What I like to do is to make things a little easier, I've got a big scraper here that I use. This eliminates a lot of sanding. You turn it up on a fairly high speed and draw it ever so gently across the edge, and it takes out any small ridges that may be inside, and that anytime you can eliminate any sanding is a good thing. So we're going to do that, and then we'll sand it, and then we'll go back to the outside. Back again. I finished all the sanding inside and out. That thing is almost slick as a baby's butt, but it's going to get slicker before I get finished. Installed the plug, sanded that flush, the bottom is smooth. I'm going to mount it back on the lathe and finish off the bottom. I like to put a cup in it so that it sits level on a table. And what I use is my one-way chuck, and I have the mini jaws installed on it. The bowl fit top side here, and it'll be held by these rubber pins. So we're going to mount it up and come back in a minute. Okay, we finished that. You can see I've got the little cup in it. I'm not sure what size cup that is. It's not a D cup, maybe a cup, but no, I'm just kidding. But now we're going to take it over and buff it, Jimmy. No, we're going to put it on the buffing wheel with some buffing paste, and that will slicken it up and make it finished. All right, we'll go over there and see what happens. Okay, this is how I buff my projects. This is the buffing pad that I use, and this is a buffing compound. It's a waxy substance, and it's got very fine, very fine grit in it. It'll remove any fibers, any loose fibers that are still on the bowl, and also put a real nice sheen to it. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to come back. I do want to show you a before picture, and then I'll show you an after picture. The excitement is building. Okay, we finished buffing it. You can see the shine that it put on it. It just does it very nicely. I may put some sort of a finish on it. If I do, I usually use satin polyurethane, which after it dries, it will not dissolve. It won't hurt food. You could put apples. You could probably put mashed potatoes in here. I don't know that I would get it that wet. The glue that I used is water resistant. It's not waterproof. Certainly wouldn't want to put this in any kind of an oven or anything. But anyway, this has been so much fun. Thank y'all for watching. And if you can think of any other projects that you may want to see me do, I'll try to brush up on my talking so I can talk more while I'm doing it. But if you think of anything else, drop me a note and we'll see what we can do.